why don't we start in the local area let's start with the AFC East, with
Okay.
AFC fans. We'll start in the AFC. Tim, how do you have this one shaken out in 2023? As a reminder, the Bills won it last year.
Yeah, and I think they do again. This is, call it short-term memory, call it what you will. I still think the best quarterback in that division is in Buffalo. Josh Allen obviously is key to the success there in Buffalo. People are concerned often about Josh Allen's health. The way he plays the game does not lend itself to not being hurt. He takes a lot of hits.
Right.
And people have been trying to get him to take less hits, slide more. But that's a big part of his game. It's always been a big part of his game, and be interesting to see if he's interested in it not being a big part of his game going forward. So health is obviously always a big asterisk, but I think the Bills have the best offense. I think they have one of the best defenses in the division as well. So I've got Buffalo at the top of that. If you want to give me if you want me to give you my standings all the way down, I've actually got Bills, Pats, Dolphins, Jets. Don't hate me, New York.
Whoa,
spicy. That's the way I see it. Yeah.
You have the Patriots as the second best team in this division.
I do. I don't.
You must be the only person.
I don't believe in. Listen. I don't believe in. Do the Patriots have a starting quarterback right now? I feel like they fired everybody in that room.
McCorkle, Mac Jones.
McCorkle's there. We'll see. I think Bill Belichick is not bad at this game. I think people forget the Patriots were 8-9 in 2022. They weren't.
Yeah.
4
and they were pretty bad,
15,
to be honest.
It wasn't the number of games there are.
It wasn't a pretty 8-9 either. Bailey Zappi started some games; they just cut him. It was a rough go.
That's right. But and listen, I'm not forecasting them to be great. Here's what I'll tell you: the way I just read it, Bills, Pats, Dolphins, Jets. That's their point differential in order last year. Bills at plus 169, Pats at plus 17, Dolphins at -2, Jets at -20. So before you all run off and tell me how hateful I am, that's the chalk. That's what came down last year. So we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have that. So for you, we starting well here. So I have a different thought on this. The Bills have had three divisions in a row, right? So you've got them winning 4 straight. I think the Bills are a team I am picking to backslide this year.
Ooh.
Now, I still think they're going to be a playoff. I still think they're a playoff team. I don't dispute that. Josh Allen's great. They've been so reliant on Josh Allen year in and year out. We've spoken on in-season pods, off-season pods about the complete over-reliance on his specific skills. It's very similar to the Cam Newton situation in Carolina. Okay, they have got some better players surrounding him, but there's not enough of them. In this offseason, we thought, finally, are they going to stop being Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen show? They drafted Dalton Kincaid. Listen, he's a very promising prospect. Rookie tight ends tend to struggle. He's another offseason camp puff piece.
They are worthless.
Darling. He's also not even the starting tight end on his own team because Dawson Knox is there. Again, he's a good player. They brought in Damian Harris. He's a good player. You'd hope he takes some of the goal line work off Josh Allen because I feel like those hits really start to add up. They've always had a good defense. They're a well-coached team. They have scored a lot of points historically. I still think they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to win the division. I have Miami winning this division. So the Dolphins, a lot of this is going to come down to Tua Tagovailoa being healthy for the full 16. I keep wanting to say 16 games. Full 17 games. We'll get there eventually. Give me 10 years. I have Tua leading the Finns to a division crown. I very much like the construction of the offense. I like Mike McDaniel's offensive scheme. The defense was very good before and has had some continuity because even though Flores left, they kept some of the staff around. I think Miami is a step forward team this year. So I have it stacked as Miami, Buffalo, Jets, New England. Now, I think in the terms of the AFC, I actually think this is the best division in the conference. Top to bottom, I would say this is the best. I know the Jets brought over Aaron.
Are a crazy person.
I know the Jets brought over Aaron Rodgers. We did a down to the franchise pod last week. I don't have the Jets making the playoffs. It's not because Aaron Rodgers isn't good. I can't really get beyond that the downtroddenness of the Jets. The Patriots, I don't really see. I can understand that they win games. I think they have one mechanism to win games, which is make them really difficult to watch. And they did that very well last year, and they went 8-9. I don't really see how much better they are than they were last year, unless Mac Jones gets a lot better than he was. I'm not really that bullish on them. I think they might be like a 500-ish team again, and I think the Jets will probably be a 500-ish, maybe 9-win team. But that was my pick this year. I could pick the Bills is the easy route, but I decided to pick Miami because why not? So how about it?
You're a crazy person. I mean, an absolute crazy person. You got to remember, Miami is a team that not 2 seasons ago had Tua Tagovailoa as an option, and every time a game got close, they pulled him and put in Magic
but that was
Fitzpatrick.
Stupid.
Okay,
and he was also
my point is,
he was a rookie, right?
Like,
so it's a different kettle of fish. It's not the same as he is right now.
Stop it.
They've got a great. I think they've got a really exciting offense here, and I think when Tua played last year, I thought the Dolphins were really, really good. Now, of course, if he doesn't play, I think this falls apart. But I'm going to back Tua to have a big year, and I'm going to back Dolphins to win the division because not everyone can win the division who won it last year. So why not someone else in the East? Because I think Buffalo's going to be a little bit worse than they were.
Tua looked really, really good for like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Not enough for me. It's just not. Maybe he's great. The number of quarterbacks who go from being meh to great are very, very small. Very, very small. And generally it's because something magic happened. And last year it was Tyreek Hill shows up into town and everybody's like, oh, well, he's going to be tough to cover. And then they're like, oh, Jalen Waddle apparently pretty good too. And so they threw long balls to Tyreek Hill and they threw long balls to Jalen Waddle. I don't believe for a minute that if they come out and do that again in 2023, teams are going to go, oh, what do we do now?
Well,
like you schemed like that. Nobody expected that coming out last year.
No, but they also threw a lot of like short area passes. I think there's so many ways to get those guys the ball to score points because they can score from anywhere. That's kind of the thing. Tyreek Hill had like a banner season last year, and I think it went kind of under the radar because I think most of the discussion around Miami was about Tua having concussion problems. I don't want to say problems, having concussions, which is unfortunate. I just think they're a team that could step forward. The Jets, neither of us have them in the top 2 in this division, correct? You have them third. Is that you have them third behind New England?
I do.
So maybe just a word on the Jets.
No, I'm sorry. I have the Jets last. I have the Jets last.
You have the Jets last.
Fourth, yeah. I think that's so painful. I've got the Jets winning 4 games this year.
That is scorchingly scalding of a take. 4 games.
4 games.
Wow. Salah would be gone. They've got a really good defense. They have got some promising offensive pieces like Garrett Wilson. They have the defensive rookie of the year as well.
Can I
please?
For a minute?
All
right. Their first game's the Bills at home. Aaron Rodgers getting his first taste in New York football. The Bills have had a history of coming out in week 1. I think they rectify that. Bills win that game going away. Then they got to go to Dallas with whatever Dallas can be, but whatever they can be certainly is difficult to play at home. And then they get to come home and play the Patriots. So I've got them best case 1 and 2 after week 3. Then they've got Chiefs at Broncos, and Broncos aren't great, but it is at Broncos. And then back home for the Eagles on quote unquote on the road at the Giants. This team may have 1 win, maybe 2 by the time they get to a week 9 matchup against the Chargers. I'm just telling you, it could fall apart quickly for the Jets. They have a tough schedule. They're playing tough teams. They, overachieved a little bit last year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Listen, maybe they're the next super team and they whoop all of them. But if it doesn't go well early for the Jets, watch out for the New York media. Watch out for the Boo Birds. Watch out for a really uncomfortable situation for Aaron Rodgers. And if he gets up on the podium in New York and spells the word relax, it's going to be a rough go for my dear friends in the Kelly Green.
Wow.
Telling you.
Brutal. You're going to be there, Tim,
week
out. 1, official half-yard line correspondent in the week 1 Buffalo Bills.
I will. I will be at the Bills Jets game in MetLife,
booing loudly from the sounds of it.
Well, I'm going with New York fans, so I'll behave myself.
That's the East. So that was sufficiently controversial. So hopefully this is all chalky here on out.